find, even against the biggest disadvantages, the openings to be able to have a Whoa, look at this. QO. If he finds a pick off here, this evens up the game and they don't even have to worry about that buyback.
The big fish, he has Venge to help him as well, but they're not going to go for it.
Not quite yet. Looks like Matumba Man. His senses were just right. Didn't poke his head out too far in that mid lane. Otherwise, it would have got chopped off by the Slardar. So.
The clock is ticking and Axe is going to respawn here. It doesn't look like Liquid are brave enough to do anything about it. If they had travels on Matumba, maybe they could do something aggressively, but he's just not very farmed in this game. It's been a very tough life to be a Gyrocopter.
16,000 net worth. It's actually Mind Control who's holding the largest share here for Liquid, as he's got another 3,600 gold in the bank right now. He only has 1,700 extra, and so he's not going to be looking at a new item anytime soon.
And this can be the downside, drafting so greedily as Liquid did. You pick a jungle Beastmaster as your support. That's going to take a lot of possible form from your carry and put it into a support position. So you could have a...
QO, did he find the opening? He managed to grip the Matumba Man, but immediately the telekinesis goes down. Yule Scepter and Liquid will use that little bit of space to retreat. The sprint. He keeps on coming forward. He wants to be able to force this fight. Because Liquid, if they have to turn and kill him, it'll stall their retreat long enough.
Back.
Yeah, looks like it. The rest of his team, they're just too far away. He's only got the Vengeful Spear behind him.
Yeah, there's nothing to TP in on. That's the big issue. If they had just one creep down there so Invoker could reinforce, but he's gonna have to back off.
And they, QO points to the lanes, draws it out. Guys, gotta get those lanes pushed out. All three of them, so they're gonna try for it now, not worrying it necessarily about kills. Q out. Actually, he's gonna go back into the jungle here. Spots out Kuro. Gets the stun, backs away. Doesn't want to risk it. Now the boots of travel two on the QO. Now they can make that kind of play, but already the blink away. Dodging the ice blast, but Fred is able to catch up. The Chivas goes down. Primal Roar for the stun. They manage to catch Kuro. Should be able to stun him all. Mind Control protects him with the Sprout. Now the force that forward. QO gets the kill, but at what a cost. He's already down to half HP. And BKB about to run out. He wants to use this Aegis, and he will oblige Liquid. Take him out. Spot in the positioning. They sprout out MP, blocking QO's retreat as well. He can't go anywhere. He's stuck inside. The swap goes down, but Dumu, 4 steps away, will be able to survive, but it's MP who gets caught by the telekinesis. He's trying to run himself away with Ghost Walk and will be able to get some distance, but Curl, he jumps forward, catches Dumu, swap back. QO is going to be hit by that one. Nice steal from Jarek, straight into the homing missile. QO now has the man fight up against Matumba Man, but doesn't have a prayer with 4 others surrounding Matu, making sure they win it.
Yeah, double buyback coming out immediately. They don't have a buyback on Axe. That could punish them. I think Liquid should go here. Because this game, it's not going well for them if they just keep playing it slowly. They just got off a massive win.
Axe is 90 gold away. They might assume that Axe actually does have a buyback.
They're actually playing it chill. And what set me off in that team fight, by the way, Invoker. If you look at his skill build right now, he could have had the Around the World Deafening Blast in that team fight. Yeah, but he skilled up max 2 Wex before putting 1 extra point in Quas. I think that was detrimental. Refresher Invoker with Around the World Deafening Blast, I think they could have taken that fight.
Yeah, let's not forget that Mind Control sprouts off the charts there in that fight.
They were good. Also, just the getaway from Kuro. He delayed the Axe initiation so much, he created enough distance that Axe had committed his blink and Force Staff and then got roared. So instead of MVP just getting the jump, they had to chase and then get counter-initiated on.
MVP Phoenix are in an awkward position now. Liquid are the ones who can look for that next fight, and they still have the two lanes of Rax advantage. They can look for that one fight, get the kill needed to be able to either force some buybacks and have a big advantage for the next 5 minutes, or even find a hero that doesn't have buyback. And there are a couple of them on MVP.
Oh, Jerax might get jumped here.
Okay, he's going to be able to spot him out. Ice Blast over the top. He's going to be able to go straight for Fada, actually, as they know Jerax is definitely dead. Tries to make what do, but it's not going to happen. Puts up a man. Now pops BKB, fights up against Farev. Turn around and damage QO. Knows he can't take that fight. They have the Force Staff swap back out. Dupa might have saved the ancient apparition, but it's QO who's more in trouble. Controlled by the Primal Roar, but it's not enough. They can't finish him off. Farev, half HP, trying to challenge Liquid, realizes that's not a good idea. And the cold feet. Oh, they're actually going to try and go back into this one. Are you serious?
Yeah, Slaughter goes.
And he sees Kuro, wants to be able to pop him real quickly. Faraz's going to be able to get the call on it too. The Shiva's top one goes for Fada, but the Yule Scepter save. He might be able to live through this. Oh my God, Fada! It's going to go down. The Ice Blast over the top and Liquid. They crumble like paper and have to retreat behind the base. MP, he looks for that extra kill, but can't find it. Last buybacks this time around on the Liquid side.
Just need to get the creep wave going as well. Gonna TP back, reset their HP, buyback coming out. Oh, actually, he sees him.
What is this? MP, he's going to be caught here. Silence up, Force Staff. He's speedy. Matu.
He's a hard man to catch. I think no way they catch the Invoker here.
Not going to be able to get the disables on him.
Man, MVP just showing such strength and going in. They're so fearless.
Absolutely.
Florida not had buyback. He just goes in, no HP. He lives just barely because of a glimmer from Bebby.
Half HP on all of their heroes, and they choose to go back in against a Death Prophet with full HP and Exorcism out.
Yeah.
If that doesn't show some cojones, I don't know what does, but MVP Phoenix, man.
Oh, they've been scouted. This word, QO, they've seen him.
QO gonna have to make a fast blink. He's actually gonna try and jump on Amatu, force the BKB. Now has to retreat, sprint on cooldown for 30 seconds, and now he's gonna be telekinesis up into the homing missile. Force the pop his BKB, now gets the sprint. Boots of travel, level 2, gets the call on a Jack. That's gonna be the one. They've already managed to kill the ancient apparition. Matu goes down as well. He's down for 90.
Oh man, they only get the AA there. I think maybe the Fury should have fought with their team. They need to bring many people to shut down this Larder.
Top lane is pushing out. MVP Phoenix may not be able to take advantage of the 670-second timer.
Man, the Treants just delaying the push, doing everything they can to keep MVP away from their base. Liquid, they're starting to get scared.
They absolutely should be, because MVP Phoenix are playing this calm, cool, and collected. They're not trying to rush things too much. They know they've got a 5-minute window where both Nature's Prophet, Death Prophet, and Gyrocopter do not have buyback. All they have to do, control the lanes, get this all pushed in.
Yeah.
And MVP Phoenix can finally take that one fight uphill that they've been looking for all game long. Farev tries to jump the goose, doesn't manage to get it, and has to jump himself away, but those are the opportunities MVP can look for fearlessly while there's still 30 seconds left for the Gyrocopter to come back.
Yeah, just pushing this high ground. There's not that much high ground defense on the side of Liquid. How are they going to hold them up here?
Well, they're going to wait for Jerax here to start. He's had some amazing steals, but he's going to have to do something so much better.
The refresher is on cooldown on Invoker. Big spell soon coming.
QO continuing to beat on this tier 3 tower with the alacrity and the armlet. He's going crazy here on the barracks, and we'll be able to take melee at top, or excuse me, at mid, tier 3 at both mid and bottom. That's a healthy chunk of gold going into MVP's coffers, as well as getting them finally a lane that is actually in their advantage. The mid lane is always going to push out to their favor now.
Such a weight off their shoulder, just not having to always go and push out that lane. And now getting Roshan again, dive really quickly. They're coming with a smoke here, Liquid. Want to take a fight, but they're just not there in time.
And damage just makes it too easy. The tornado's going to come through as well, stopping Liquid's jump.
And now QO with the Aegis is going in.
Whoa, the smoke. QO looks for it, does get silenced up. Doesn't pop his BKB just yet. Yule Scepter goes down. And now QO has to blink for him, but doesn't get it. The 4, as well as the homing missile, will stop him. MP, he's going to have to be the one catching the heroes, but they choose not to. Both top and bottom are pushing in, and that's the thing. MVP Phoenix, they seem to always make sure that the bottom and top lane do not push out so much so that they lose tier 4 towers. They've only lost one of them so far. Considering how long they've had to battle up against this disadvantage, they've managed to keep just the wherewithal of always knowing, guys, we can't go too crazy right now, have to defend base.
Yeah, they're just respecting one more mistake could mean that they get mega creeped, and they don't deal with that very well at all. So, good heads up plays here, just backing and defending. But again, it looks like Liquid, they're losing purpose right now. They don't really know where to go. Smokes are being countered. It's just difficult to say what they should be doing in this position. Yeah. They don't have enough farm on Gyrocopter to really have a strong front line.
We're getting to the point in the game where MVP Phoenix have won so many fights in a row and have actually taken some objectives for themselves that they have enough extra gold they can start getting their next round of items. So we just saw the, it's actually from Mind Control, he managed to complete up a whole entire Bloodthorn, but that's because he doesn't have buyback anyway. MVP's heroes, you've got a heart about to be complete for Farev and still have buyback. You've got 5k on QO, so he can start looking at that next item as well.
And he has Moon Chart already.
And MP, I think, is going to be completing Scythe of Vice with that ultimate order. Or no, Lincoln's actually up against, Primal Roar, that makes sense.
And Lincoln's pretty nice spell actually, or a nice thing to have for him. He can refresh that as well in the team fight.
That's a good point.
So just lead by putting it onto QO maybe when he dives in aggressively, as he always does. Or maybe even onto the Axe, who seems to be getting gored a lot in these fights. So yeah, that's going to be a great item defensively. And it looks like MVP, they're actually going for the high ground pressure now.
And Liquid have to find an opening at this point. They just can't let MVP Phoenix march all the lanes up to their high ground and play defense. I think they actually need to be able to looking for some sort of pickoff, whether it's at mid, maybe trying to force a very early fight at top lane before MVP can make those rotations. I'm not sure what it is, but Liquid are the ones now who have to find the opening.
It's so hard though, with these travels on every single one almost on MVP. All the cores have travels. You just can't, and here they are, on your doorstep.
I think Slardar isn't a high ground pusher. We'll just wait till you see when he's got this much strength and alacrity build on him. Tier 3 already going down. Liquid trying to see something, some way to be able to stop this push without fully committing, but it's just not going to happen. Another Rax will end up falling here. Liquid trying to slow him down, pops the Shivas, actually does hit Q-Well, but the MTM shot pot actually slows him down. Sebi doesn't want to get hit by that ultimate and will be swapped out once again by Dubu.
And they could TP back here. Look at Beastmaster's been running for 20 seconds away.
Oh, they've got him. They've got him locked in, that's for sure. Kuro down for 80 seconds now, right after MVP Phoenix just pushed in a wave and took a melee Rax.
He felt like he had to go for something mid, but this is the thing. If you're going to play a greedy Beastmaster support, you're practically a core. If you die like this, it's really hurting your team.
MVP Phoenix are alleviating all the pressure that they felt for a straight 30 minutes from the Rax advantage that Liquid had.
I mean, look at the net worth. MP 34,000. They have a 28,000 now on Slardar. They're just in a great spot to take this game, and it looks like they're doing it slowly and systematically against Liquid.
We're rapidly approaching here our hour marker as Bevy is waiting inside the base to pick up his axe. He's actually going to throw down the Ice Splash straight through the middle lane. Perhaps just trying to get a bit of information about whether or not Liquid are actually inside their base.
Man, this axe is looking like such a monster right now.
Just imagine if that was someone like Jerix. Gets hit by Ice Blast and Sunstrike at the same time. With Ags on Ancient Apparition and the Ags on MP as well, I think he just straight up explodes.
He would, yeah, he would die. There's so much damage. You also keep in mind that the Invoker, he has so much int at this point that he has 12% damage increase on all his spells. Just from that.
Yeah, that's Sunstrike pure damage, just gonna rip through someone like the Rubik.
Oh, definitely.
Supposed to be able to defend against some of the magic damage, not the case here. Mind Control just searching for more and more farm, spending time inside the dire jungle. He's gonna have to pop his head out though to stop a top lane push or something here.
Look at Dubo just sneaking, placing down 2 wards. He knows vision is everything. This fight.
He sees the swap. Oh, he managed to get the swap on Matoma Man. They get the call to follow up, and Matoma Man, he just ends up dying just like that. He has a buyback here, and he's gonna wait for his opportunity. Throws it down now. Melee Rax is up. QO gonna pop his BKB. Turns around. Doesn't actually look to kill the Fauna. Now the Fauna is a bit separated. They'll go for it now, but the swap out for Jarek. What a good save. And managed to get the force step away from QO as well. Now Fauna pops the exorcism, but they have to stop MVP Phoenix's retreat. They have to actually be able to fight this and win this fight. Looks like they're going to be able to get Fred. MP runs himself away. Looks like MVP Phoenix as a whole are now going to turn around. They have the buyback. Mike controls the target, jumps in with the achievements as well. They've caught Matoma Man. Oh boy, Matu, he explodes with a Sunstrike and a top for Forever. Ice Bud hits on and blows up one. They have the Yule Scepter there, but it's not going to be enough. Forever on the front lines will end up going down to mind control, but they have to manage to take out the Death Prophet. The buyback goes out. Range Rax, next target for MVP Phoenix. Jarek jumps in, tries to stop that Lincoln. They will open up the Bloodthorn. That's going to be enough to actually kill MP. Barely. Now Febby. Oh, barely managed to live through that one. QO also a sliver of HP.
So close to being brought down. The Furion being in behind them as well. He's looking
they're
for
going
those
to try and
low
sandwich
heroes.
this one. They're going to try and sandwich these heroes while they're still low, but the heart, it's racking in for QO. He's already at half HP.
If they could get the Invoker.
Swap in, gonna be able to catch him. BKB arc already activated. Fada goes for the Ancient Apparition, will be able to get him another swap out from Jarek. Draws some time with the Ghost Scepter and buys. The Telekinesis is gonna be able to hit on QO. Maybe that disable actually wins it for Mind Control. He's manning up with the Bloodthorn. He gets the kill. Deafening Blast gonna be too late. Mind Control dies, but maybe with the buyback. Liquid, Jarek's, he's just trying to buy time. He needs 5 more seconds until Beastmaster's up 35 for Matu. That's not gonna be enough. MVP, they see their opening. They see they're going to be able to just straight up take Megas and end this game.
MVP, are they doing it finally after their long struggle going for this?
Unbelievable. MVP Phoenix up against 2-lane Rax advantage. Up against a Fury, not that. Kuro, he tries to go for it. Oh, don't tell me. It's going to be a base race, ladies and gentlemen. Kuro trying to finish off that pillar. Not going to be fast enough. MP gets the TP back, forced to throw out the Primal Roar, but Kuro, in the end, still has to retreat. And that now means Tier 4 down. MVP Phoenix. Afraid of some buybacks. Gyrocopter is about to come back up. Maybe Kuro just bought the time required for MVP Phoenix to be forced into retreat.
That one little play by Kuro to TP top there was so important. They would have lost the game if he did not do this. It's still a very dangerous position though. 68 seconds of Furion, both the Prophets being dead.
Kuro looks for some vision, but is going to go back to base here.
Man, MVP do not want to stop. They're like, okay, let's go now. When we know buybacks are down, there's not going to be anyone coming back. If we kill them once, they're going to be gone.
Yeah, 40 seconds still left on the Death Prophet. MVP Phoenix have now managed to force this. They're going to try and go for some sort of Hawk TP in play, perhaps, and go for another base race.
The creeps are just too far away from the base, though. They have to defend this one.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be too much. They're going to be able to get the call on the Liquid. He's going to be blown up once again. He's done for all the way into the throne. Doesn't matter. Burning Bush be damned. Forever takes it all. And MVP Phoenix looks for those kills. Now turn back to Tier 4's Alacrity up. And there it goes. They're taking it. The throne's going to explode just like that. MVP Phoenix. They're taking the very last fight, evening up the kills, and they end it. They take it. 2-lane Rax advantage with the Nature's Prophet on Liquid, and MVP Phoenix still come through.
It so damn well, but it just did not seem to be enough as they managed to fumble it, and now Liquid I mean, they're going to be looking pretty dark, as I know the ideas of them being perhaps a tournament favorite was messing with them, and now they've just been knocked down like this. That's really got to hit them straight in the heart right there.
Yeah, it's definitely hard for them. And after a group stage where, as the panel pointed out, everyone took a game off them, and now getting this series down in lower bracket immediately. MVP though, they're going to be feeling great.
Only wrapping up steam. How far can MVP Phoenix go in this upper bracket? That's something our analysts will have to break down.
Thanks very much, Capitalist. The wag of the commentators. What a game to start things off. We only had to wait 2 games for an absolutely monumental game between MVP and Liquid. MVP coming through 2-0. Let's get the reactions from our panel members now.
I forgot everything I was gonna say. I don't know.
Fog's lost it. He's completely gone into the mind. He has no idea what just happened.
I think I'm deaf as well from Charlie screaming his head off in this game. But
that was insane. That was beyond impressive. For them to be down 2 racks that entire way and still play hyper aggressive, still play in your face, the mental fortitude, the confidence, I don't know what to say.
Did you see them at the end as well? It wasn't even like they were like, yeah, all right.
I was more excited than they were.
Yeah. I think we all were.
We were definitely jumping up more and down. Purge, what did you make of it?
Every fight was MVP going in when Liquid didn't necessarily expect it. It's like, oh, we got 2 kills. They're definitely not going to go in. And then they'd hop back in again, and they possibly get a kill on a core, and everything changes again. The fight resets. There were so many super long battles that constantly happen. They defended on 2 racks for so long. Like, how many times did we say the game is over during the course of that game?
I also want to point out, halfway through that game, we all agreed that Fata was having the game of his life and was definitely the MVP.
Yeah, the solo kill on MP mid, the very first one, that's the one that set the tone for Liquid really steamrolling that game in the early mid game, where they kept on trying to gank the Death Prophet, but he was too big off that lane domination, and that's what gave Liquid the early game advantage. But 4F, he's my MVP for
absolutely
this game.
the MVP.
Like that fight at MVP's top racks, where the racks was already gone, and what they do perfectly, and they did this so many fights. Kyo walks forward, he gets sprouted, he's the focus, and then Forever always goes on the back line, and even if it's just one hero, it sets up the kill on that person with the Ice Blast. They did that consistently, and they did it so fast. It wasn't like the typical bait stuff that happens. Smoke 4, sit behind 1. Oh, that's obvious. They did it every fight. It takes them seconds to set up. They're just so practiced at it.
And he does it so many times in one fight. How many times did he get off a dunk? How many times did he get off a call? It was just...
He did like carry level damage on Axe.
He didn't even, like, there was a point where he was doing that with a 4-staff, blink, and a blade mill. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
it was incredible.
Yeah, Fox still can't talk.
I don't know.
He still can't say anything.
It was little things that ended up winning it for them, but it was just incredible performance from all of them. Like prolonging the fights. We were like, oh, they can't fight into Death Prophet, and then 2 of them die, and we're like, yeah, they still can't fight. And then Death Prophet Outlook is about to tick out, and QO armlet toggles, goes back in. Beautiful swap comes out from Dubu. Just everybody just seemed to be on the same page. They had to have had like, ridiculous communication in there.
Their reaction times consistently, every single fight was above pro level, above typical pro level. Every time the swap was perfectly timed.
All right, well, let's take a look at some of the highlights as well, because there were some fabulous highlights in the middle of this. For both teams, in many ways. Certainly earlier on, Liquid had much better at the early game, but these team fights from MVP were just so well coordinated.
This was a point in the game there where Liquid was pretty happy. They had 4 very farmed heroes. They were playing their game unlike the previous game. They were getting advantage. They were moving around the map. And that didn't really slow down any time before Rax's. Like, they were getting use of Roar and things like that. The kills were fairly even, but Liquid's ability to take Rax's was a bit better.
I think that shot on Matumba Man where I think that was maybe the 3rd time that he got picked off. That really tells the story of this game, where he constantly got picked off. But it was in like weird positions. I'm not even gonna say it was, he just didn't expect it. We didn't expect it. Like MVP just constantly predicted where their Liquid heroes were gonna be, and they just went on them. It's like, you can see he's getting super frustrated because he's getting caught out time and time and again. And it's delaying Liquid's ability to take that last set of racks.
Wow, that play was crazy.
Game-winning blade mail.
It actually did so much damage, yeah. Rocket Barrage, Exorcism, they can't stop the damage in a lot of cases. And this is the fight. Frev got 4 kills, I believe. best team here.
Yeah, their team fight coordination was just completely on point. It was almost impeccable.
They always get heroes away, like just barely.
Look how low everybody is. They're just like, all right, guys, let's just keep dancing around. All right, Farev's back. All right, run back in. Blade Mail again, basically killing 2 heroes here.
I think this was the one where they managed to get. I think there were 3 players actually less than 100 health. 1 died, the other 2 got away.
I really want to see how much damage Blade Mail alone this game reflected, because it's probably in like 10,000s or something, like some absurd region.
Yeah. I'm sure that was the most valuable Blade Mail ever. Even mind control, throwing lightning around, it's bouncing around. He's doing himself damage there. They almost won this fight if they would have killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the beautiful,
this is the one.
4-staff, the Glimmer Capes. Like, look at this teamwork.
They got 1 of the 3 that were really long.
Like, if those 2 heroes died, they might be able to follow clear everyone 5, force buybacks, and or take a Rax mid and end the game. Like, there were so many clutch fights.
I guess that's going to happen in a 70-minute game like that, right?
Yeah.
But that was best game of the tournament so far.
Absolutely.
Probably.
Yeah, by a long way.
Hands
It's
down.
going to take a lot to kind of beat that kind of.
That one, and I
that
think the
game as
Navi
well.
DC game, right? Because we've had
Navi
those 2
DC
are pretty
was
high.
a good game as well.
What about the other game Phoenix played where they won against Mega Creeps?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, MVP
that's
just
also
likes to give
another
us some
one.
good games.
They do.
so.
They just want to be entertainers, which we love on here. I want to bring up a couple of pieces. Predictions, boys.
Yeah, we suck.
I'm
We're-
0 for 3.
Predictions.
I'm 0 for 3, I'll say
You
it.
are.
I think
Perch,
I'm-
you
I think
are
I'm
0 for 3. You are
2
2
for-
for 3.
I'm 2 for 3?
2 for 3. So is Paul.
No, that's not. That's not true.
No,
'cause
I
you
think
lost
I'm
2
two,
Navi
I
games.
think
2
I'm
for
2
4.
for 4. I think I'm 2 for 4.
No, I trust Paul.
I'm getting it from Nox.
I'll take that.
All right, he's wrong.
I'll take 2 for 3.
His
Oh,
stats
all right,
definitely lie.
I'll take 2 for
It's
3.
definitely not. All right, he was literally on the panel with me where I went 0-2.
Hey,
he also
hey,
went 0-2.
stats don't lie.
Yeah.
Stats
don't
don't
lie.
lie.
I think Nahaz.
I'm Nahaz.
Or Knoxville needs
I'm
a new
Nahaz.
job.
Yeah, young Nahaz.
Young Nahaz over
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so that's the predictions. Also, but just in defense of Charlie a little bit, he's the only one, actually he's the one of the analysts, of all of the analysts, 20-odd people that we've got in our team, that had MVP highest finisher.
What did you place him at? I put him at 6th.
I think I put him at 2 or 3.
It was 2.
Oh,
It
wow.
was 2. Honestly, I don't remember. Like I said, I wrote these just to get Nox to stop.
So we got 4 out of 8.
Did you just pick 16 teams out and just go, just
I
any order?
don't know.
Out of
I
basket.
didn't know that these were going to be like public or whatever. I thought this was just like Nox's own internal thing.
We explained it. What are you on about? We explained all of that.
Typical Charlie.
I don't think he was in the
we
room.
explained all that.
No.
One other question is, let's look back to the group stage and MVP's performance. They came through in second. How good does that make LGD look now? Because they
Okay.
destroyed MVP.
No.
Come on, Charlie,
Okay.
get on the train.
Okay, look,
Get on the train.
When LGD beat MVP, the first game was MVP putting QO on a mid Phantom Assassin. Come on, that's like, can you really count that game? That hero is
Sure,
awful.
they won it.
That hero's awful. It's
It
sure
is
you
pretty
can
bad.
count that game, but it's
No.
not indicative of
Play with
how
me here, Fog.
it's not indicative of how MVP can play.
Sure.
And how good they are.
Okay.
And then the second game, credits to LGD though. It
Played
was
off
like
the- played off the hook.
it was an incredible
Yep.
game. It was super close. MVP was ahead, but I think they weren't prepared for the Tinker high ground defense. That's how LGD won. They just
But they
defended with
won,
Tinker for
Charlie.
like yeah. It was really impressive, and LGD is a great team.
Liquid could have done the
But-
same here.
Well, the difference, it was actually almost exactly the same drafts. That game that you're talking about is this one. The difference is that Tinker shoots 4 missiles, which do like 300 damage, and the laser does tons of pure damage and it hits 5 people. They can't output the same level of damage of the Death Prophet. It's not even close to the same, and not safely either.
Okay.
That's why they lost that game.
All right, we have an interview now with one of our Korean overlords who's with Sir Action Slacks.
All right, I'm here with QO. Now, they did a pretty good job. I mean, they beat Liquid. You guys got to give it up. Come on, boys. One more time. Let's hear it for MVP. Ah, there we go. All right, man. Now, after Liquid beat you guys in Shanghai, you said, and I quote, 2 things. You had to increase your hero pool and diversify your draft. Is that what we saw here today?
Yeah, that might be the reason as well, but I think the main reason is like we won like 2 tournaments recently, and then we get some confidence. I think that's the biggest reason.
All right, so confidence killed the cat. That sounds good to me. Now, second question for you. Let's talk about Ricky. You guys played him in game 1. He did really well. Is he going to start to become a thing here in Manila? Is he going to be a bannable hero?
I never expected that Ricky and Leech is gonna be used in same game, but yeah, I think it's really good heroes if you like have a plan.
And it certainly looked like you guys had a plan. You beat him after all, so good work there. All right, now, this is the most requested question I have for MVP. I don't know why, but the people want to know. You guys are South Korean. Do you listen to K-pop music?
Some guys, well, like, many of my team members, like, show me the money. Like, it's a rap program, but yeah, so if it's K-pop, then it might be.
Any girls' generation?
When I was young,
Yeah, GG, baby. We got it. All right. Last but not least, yesterday you said, and I quote again, if we beat Team Liquid, we are going to win the entire thing. You beat Team Liquid, so... you're going to win the entire thing, right?
yeah, sure. Like, why not?
All right, you heard it here, folks. All right, there you go, folks. There it is. All right, well, thank you so much for your time. Go back up there. Your team is celebrating. Pound it out, and we'll send it right back to the panel. Thanks for watching the Manila Major.
Thank you very much. Sarakshin Slacks there on the main stage. Good to see him back in there as well. Great questions, great answers from QO as well. I don't know about the K-pop though. Maybe when he was younger. Boys, we're going to wrap things up on the opening match. How do you summarise MVP's victory, Fog?
They just look godly, honestly. Their team fight is pretty much impeccable at this point. I would be really scared if I was any of the other teams looking at this game coming into the future.
I've spoken to you a lot over the last 4 or 5 days. I've never seen you silenced so easily like that. I was blown away by how they silenced you.
Like how Charlie was saying, their presence of mind, the way that they took those fights, even though like 2 people were dead, they were constantly just re-engaging and just, it was a magic show.
The thing about the way that they played that is you can't necessarily prepare for it. There isn't downtime. It's always uptime. So if you're not thinking as rapidly as they are, and you're not using your force stats and skills as fast as they are, they're going to beat you in fights. And that is really terrifying, that you have less control over your game.
Yep.
Charlie, final thoughts?
I can't even like pin this down to strategy, drafts, whatever. This is just, they outplayed them. Pure reaction time,
and isn't
coordination.
that the most surprising thing that we found out of that match?
Thank God there's only one Korean team in this tournament, right?
Yep. I love it. Charlie is fully on board the Korean hype train. We love it. We do have a couple of social media questions. We have had, obviously these questions have been coming in throughout the entire tournament. If you want to do that, at PGL Esports on Twitter. This one, which gives a greater draft advantage, a surprise first pick or a surprise last pick? I think that's an easy question, isn't it?
Last pick for sure.
Yeah, it has to be last.
Surprise first pick, you can always deal with that. You have five picks to deal with that. Last pick, who knows?
Yeah. But at the same time, too, it kind of messes with your mentality, you could say. So
it does mess with your draft potentially. Because then you're always chasing. Yeah,
I would agree that the surprise last pick definitely is, but the surprise first pick can definitely get into people's heads, and it's just like, oh, wait, we have to fully adjust everything, and maybe you over-adjust.
Okay. Purge?
Depends how vulnerable they are to adjusting their draft to their opponent's strat, rather than just saying, okay, that's fine, they have that, let's do what we do. We're going to know approximately what it's doing, but we're going to focus on what we do. Setting up our ganks on time, taking towers, Dota principles, not countering that one hero, putting everything on them and getting tilted.
Okay. Do we have another one? Do we have one more? We do have one more, okay. We'll just give it a second and we should get our next question from social media. As I said, if you want to send in these social media questions, please do so. You can use Twitter at PGL Esports. The next question is from Skim. And it says, is Team Liquid's drafting and laning too one-dimensional?
I don't think so. I mean,
it's been pretty dynamic this tournament, isn't it?
I wouldn't
maybe not
necessarily
today,
say
I wouldn't go so far as to call it dynamic, but I wouldn't call it one-dimensional either.
It has to be partially like that. It's a formula. You plan out how your drafts are going to go. You plan how you're going to react when they do things. You plan what your options are. If they ban one of your heroes, you pick the other one. It gives you a cohesive strategy. That way you don't freak out when they last pick Huskar, like we just talked about.
Yeah, agreed.
That's sometimes more detrimental.
All right, thank you very much. These 3 gentlemen are going to be staying with us for the next series. Hold on to your hats, everyone, because the next series might just get a cheer. It's OG versus Na'Vi.
Next matchup, Na'Vi versus OG.